We will discuss the refraction of light on concave spherical surface. So, for concave spherical surface, in the diagram, this is the concave spherical surface, this is pole, the center point of the concave spherical surface. In the left side we have air, in the right side we have the glass, that is the denser medium. This is the center of curvature of this concave spherical surface, and this line which joins C and P is the principal axis. So, for relation between object distance, image distance, radius of curvature and refractive index of glass with respect to air, there are certain assumptions. We will use the point object, and for point object we have the point image. Now, see how the image is formed for a point object. So, O is a point object, C is the center of curvature, and our image will be at I, but how you have to see. So, light coming from object incident at point N, and Cn is the normal at point N, and light travel from rarer to denser medium. So, angle of refraction will be less than angle of incidence. The second light ray coming from object normally incident at pole. So, it will be refracted without any deviation. So, these two refracted ray, they cannot intersect each other. So, real image is not possible. So, for the location of image, we will extend the refracted ray in the backward direction. So, when you extend in the backward direction, they intersecting each other at point I. So, I is the image in respect of this point object. This is a virtual image, real, no real image. Now, we are measuring all the distances in respect of pole. So, U is the object distance, V is the image distance, R is the radius of curvature. All these distances are with negative sign because all the distances are measured opposite to the propagation of light. So, the sign convention is this: all the distances opposite to the light propagation taken negative. Now, inclination of the object alpha, image beta, center of curvature gamma. And additional geometrical construction is you have to draw perpendicular from point N, let foot of perpendicular is M. So, we are going to derive the relation between U, V, R and mu. So, very clearly you can see in the diagram in the triangle COCN, OCN, the sum of alpha and I will be equal to gamma because these two are interior angle, this is the exterior angle. So, I plus alpha is equal to gamma. So, I is equal to gamma minus alpha, equation number 1. Similarly, in triangle ICN, beta plus R is equal to gamma because gamma is exterior angle, beta and R interior angle. So, gamma is equal to beta plus R. So, R is equal to gamma minus beta, equation number 2. By Snell's law, we have mu is equal to sin I upon sin R, but the aperture of this concave spherical surface is very small. So, all the angle, either it is alpha, beta, gamma or I and R are very small. So, with that assumption, we have mu is equal to I by R. So, I is equal to mu into R, equation number 3. Now, what we will do, we will put the value of I and R in equation number 3. So, we have gamma minus alpha is equal to mu gamma minus beta. If you simplify, gamma minus alpha is equal to gamma into mu minus mu into beta. Now, this minus mu beta we have to take in the left side. So, mu beta minus alpha is equal to mu gamma minus gamma because this gamma is now in the right side. So, in the right side mu is gamma is common in these two. So, So, we have gamma in bracket mu minus 1. In the left side already we have mu beta minus alpha. This is equation number 4. Now, what we will do, we will find out the value of alpha, beta and gamma from the same diagram, from the triangle OMN. If you come to triangle OMN, tan alpha is equal to Mn upon OM. Tan alpha is equal to Mn upon OM. Because aperture is very small, then tan alpha is equal to alpha, and let Mn is equal to h. Let this height of perpendicular is small h. So, h by minus u, because OM is equal to minus u. Similarly, in right angle triangle IMN, tan beta is equal to Mn by Im, that is beta is equal to h by minus v. Similarly, in triangle CMN, tan gamma is equal to Mn by Cm. So, again we have gamma is equal to h by minus r. So, we have expression for alpha, beta and gamma. These three value we will put in equation number 4. So, when you put the value of alpha, beta, gamma in equation number 4, we have mu minus h by v for beta, minus h by u for alpha, and similarly in the right side minus h by r for gamma, mu minus 1. And you find this h is common, both the side cancel out. Similarly, this negative sign is also cancel out. So, finally, you have mu by v minus 1 by u is equal to mu minus 1 by r. So, this is the required expression for refraction of light at concave spherical surface, provided the light travels from rarer to denser, that is air to glass. But if the light travel from denser medium to the rarer medium, then from equation 5 we have the relation 1 by v minus mu by v u is equal to 1 minus mu by r, equation number 6. So, equation 5 for rarer to denser, and equation number 6 when the light travels from denser to rarer medium. So, this equation is very important to discuss how the refraction took place at biconvex or biconcave surfaces.